There we go. We should be at least live on YouTube now. So get myself all set up as we get ourselves ready to hit the record button. So Will's eating pickles. It looks like he's actually in his kitchen. It looks familiar to me. It looks like he's actually. Oh, did you? I'm sorry. Mm. Hey, look what, look at. I gotta make this quick. Did you see it? It's free beer. So, I think David Olson actually brought it the last time he was here.
Oh, yeah.
He's got a habit of bringing these guys alcoholic beverages. So, it's Boulevard Weed. It's actually probably one of the only few beers I actually like drinking. So, actually, probably
yes,
one of the
it,
only
right?
few beers I actually like drinking. Oh, geez, I gotta turn this down. What's that noise? You hear that? Oh. No, I heard I could feel the vibration coming through the table. That was crazy.
That's probably it.
Yeah. That was neat.
Will, you have your headset, right?
Yeah, I'm sure he's got it. He's just in his.
Okay.
He's getting himself situated. Are we early? No, actually, we're not early. We're like right on time. Oh, God. We're back in his room. This is how each podcast show has started the last couple of months now. We get to jam out to whatever Will is listening to, and then he gets himself all set up. I had to chase my cat out of my room the other night on one of my videos I was trying to make. Oh, really? Roxy likes to eat basically anything that we leave anywhere. So she the other night I caught her licking French onion dip, which was really weird. I never knew cats to know French onion dip. So. Oh, yay. Yeah. He's dead. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. You dead, billionaire? Yeah, I can still hear you. Yeah, actually, my sister's like nodding her head big time. Like, yeah,
Much
absolutely.
better.
No, I did not. Ooh, you can lean back. I was gonna go work on the track tonight and change a section before I had to do it next week. Just try to not do it all at once. And then I got a phone call today after we came down and had lunch with you. At a phone call that Tim is sick, and he's sick and won't be there until at least Wednesday now. So I normally don't work air quotes on Tuesdays, but I'm working this Tuesday, so no track work for me tonight. So unfortunately. Hey. Right now we have 6, but hey, hold on a second. Say some stuff. Start talking. Nope. It's not your audio's not coming up on the stream. Mine is, but yours isn't. That's weird. I know. Well, That's why we have 2 engineers here, because clearly I am not an engineer. I don't know. We'll see if we can figure it out. Hang on a second here. Margie's going to go in and see if she can fix it. So full disclosure, we're not on the normal computer we're on. We're actually on an actual Mac. I guess you could call it desktop, because their WebRise is moving to a new studio. So they're all packed up and basically ready to go as soon as we get done here. Yeah. They're going to a new studio because all the neighbors around here tend to be loud. Like one of their neighbors plays music, and the walls aren't exactly thick, so you can hear everything. So, and they've tried to talk to them, a couple of their neighbors, to kind of like know the actual times and stuff, and it doesn't really work out all the time. So now they're going to an end of the building that's more insulated with like brick and stuff. So it's going to be really cool. Oh, wait a minute. There you go. I think we got you.
Not yet. Well, no, we have to go back. Well, we can't. We couldn't test ride because neither one of us have a motorcycle license, so they wouldn't let us do that. Yes. We're gonna go back to Lincoln and pick it up. You don't?
Is that you?
What's happening?
Is that Will's picture?
Stand by.
Tell him to talk more. Tell him to talk more.
We need you to talk.
Keep talking.
I see levels.
Yeah, it's all metal. Yeah, it's all metal. We're not kidding.
We're thinking they think they can top it off about 60. Yeah, we're still not getting you. I don't know what's going on. No, I don't think it's your headphones, because I can hear you, and it's recording, so it's right. Yeah,
I'm getting levels on the podcast.
I can see your levels on the podcast thing. Yeah. We're just not getting it hooked up to the YouTube channel, the tube. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm looking at buttons. Yeah. It's not imperative to have the YouTube stream, but it's just nice. It's just nice to get it in earlier. Nope. Oh. Nope. Nope. Hey, well, no, that wouldn't be it. Your volume thing is definitely on, right?
What do you mean? This thing?
Yeah.
It's all the way up now.
Okay.
Ooh, that's loud.
Oh, wait a minute.
There we go.
Where we go?
We got it.
Okay, what was it? Was it my volume?
Nope.
Okay.
It was a button on here.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, sweet. Okay.
Alrighty.
Well, that's cool. That filled up, the first 10 minutes. Hey, look at that. Content of us fiddling around.
Yeah.
Wee. So we got some watchers on. Colton Tilley's on here. Drucifer's on here. I think I know who that is. Rod Case is on here.
Hey, Rod.
One bad ZX10 R04. And he's already asked a question about crawling.
What's this question? Oh, crawling, huh?
We're definitely crawling. So, Kieran L. is on here now. So yeah, we got some watchers. There's 11 people watching. So okay, with
Nice.
that, this is Alex Sturgeon from the Hobbytown HobbyPlex here for another fine edition of the HobbyPlex show. As with me as always is
Will Brinton.
And we would just like to say very quick before I forget that this show is always brought to you by Pivot Lending Group. You can find them at pivotlending.com. Mention us, and you will get a $500 lender credit or 0.125 off of your overall interest rate if you're going to do either refinance, home loan, or any of their other services, I'm sure, mentioning the Hobbyplex. We'll get you somewhere because Aiden Olson's dad works there.
Yeah.
So, speaking of which, I lost to Aiden by 19 seconds on Saturday.
Wah, wah.
Wah, wah. That
I didn't race.
so yeah, that J Concepts. You know how the J Concepts has that team report thing coming up. Well, I wanted to write. I haven't written it yet, but I wanted to write. Did crappy. Don't really want to talk about it.
Yeah.
So, one bad something is Rodney Sorensen. Now I know who that is. So,
But why didn't you do well?
well, part of it was just driver error. I made a couple stupid crashes, turned into the pipe at the bottom of that far hill over there. When I was I was kind of catching Aiden, but not really. I mean, it was a tenth of a second here and there, and then he would pull away a little bit, and then I would pull away, get back to him or whatever. But after that, it was over. First qualifier, we had nobody to run the races, so Jackson was like looking at me with puppy dog eyes, and I'm like, all right, you can do it. Well, I forgot to finish the last race, so it's Control V or you use the cursor. And so while we're getting set up, there were 6 of us, so we were all crossing the line, and it caused the computer to crash. And because we don't have the greatest computer in the whole wide world for running club races.
What track does?
Yeah. I mean, it got a lot better when we went to Windows 10. When it was on Windows 8, the whole reason why I personally bought a really good laptop from Lifetime was so that I had confidence in our series races, summer series, winter series, and big races in a computer.
Yeah.
So I have this really fast laptop. Well, I only bring it out for the summer series, winter series, and big races. When we updated to Windows 10, all those problems we had went away. It stopped acting goofy. But, like, let's say somebody misses a lap and I have to add a lap real quick. That thing will sit and spin for way longer than it should, and it scares me every once in a while, but then it catches back up.
Yeah.
And so I just stopped. Part of it was I did one lap, and then I heard Mason's car, because Mason Fuller was there and he hadn't been there all summer. Mason's car came across the loop, and of course the transponder wasn't set up for him, so all you heard was the numbers, and I'm just like, whatever, I'll just go fix it and wait for the next round.
Yeah.
Next round I did okay. I ran, I didn't want to glue up any tires, so I just ran a set of silvers I had lying around that still had plenty of tread on them. It wouldn't have been the optimal tire, but I still qualified okay. Again, I crashed a whole bunch. My head was not in it. And then for the main, I put on my golds that I ran last week, and they were really good. My car was really good, and I just screwed up a bunch, just driving dumb.
Yeah.
I had Emerson stay home because he started school, so I didn't really want him to. I don't know. I just was like, you know what? You should probably stay home. Go play with your friends or something.
Yeah.
You need a day off every once in a while.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna race, but I'm out of tires, and it's gonna be like another week before we have any in stock. So, I've just been. I actually ordered all my carpet tires for the carpet series.
I have tires. I just didn't want to glue any. I wanted to try to stretch out what I had another week.
Yeah. I don't blame you.
So yeah, I was gonna go in tonight, and I was basically gonna take out the elevated corner that we have right at pit lane, and use that dirt to kind of fill in a section on the option line to make it a little different for next week, and then but I'm gonna have to do it all at once next week. So next week, so Rodney asked, "Are we still crawling?" We are still crawling tomorrow, because the other guys will still be there to work, but I just have to go in and open. But next week, I think I'm going to call crawling off, at least organized. Everybody can always still come out because the outdoor crawling course is free unless we're having one of these events. You pay $10, you get a chance to win 5 of it back. And, I'm out there, I take the time to set up a course and to judge everybody and to, might make a change or two to the course. So there is some work being done. So that's kind of one of the reasons why we charge on Tuesdays. But also, it's kind of like a combined night. So if you have more than just crawling, you can always bring another car with you, and you have access to the dirt track too.
Mm-hmm.
But next week,
nice.
next week I think I'm going to be working on the track. I think it's going to take me. It'll definitely take me all day now because I wasn't able to splice it out into 2 different weekdays.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Oh well.
Then I'm actually going to miss the next round of the summer series.
Yeah, you said that.
I'm going to be in South Dakota.
South Dakota.
Yeah. So, doing the family vacation up there.
Yay.
That weekend.
My vacation.
Which is okay.
My vacation is the week before the summer series finals. No, round 5, because I forgot we have October 3rd. So my vacation's in the middle of September, and I've come up with what I'm going to do. I get 2 weeks of vacation. Got to use it by November. So we're going to that Masters of Dirt race at the end of October. Mm-hmm. But my first week of vacation is going to be a staycation. But I'm going to call it a creative vacation because I have 2 goals that I have. So for those of you listeners that are wondering why I'm an idiot and work at the hobby store, it's because I went to college for creative writing. Okay? So that was my goal, was to be able to get into writing, right? And now I work at a hobby store and I do a bunch of RC car stuff. So I've had this short story that I had almost done. It was one of those things where, and it was a long time ago. So remember when we went to the Reedy race in 2014?
Yeah.
And when on our flight back, I had written out the first couple paragraphs of this short story with my laptop. Do you remember me showing you that?
Yeah, I read it.
Okay, that story I had almost all the way done, and I was finishing it. My heart was really in it, and it was one of those like things where you're like tap 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 tap. This is gonna be great. This is gonna be great. Mm-hmm. And my computer crashed, and I wasn't able to save it, and my hard drive quit.
No.
Yeah, dude, totally. So it's like getting super far in Tomb Raider without saving, and then dying. And I'm just like, I don't really feel like writing all that again because the inspiration for it is I've let it all go, right? So several years have gone by. That was 2014. So several years have gone by. I've tried many attempts to try to rewrite it, and it just hasn't been out the same. But the last couple of weeks, I've had the laptop out. I've been looking at it, and I've been tapping away at it, and I kind of feel like I might be able to write it again. So my goal is that week to get that written and done. This my first short story that I've written in a long time. I want to get it done.
Yeah, I can't remember who it was either Ernest Hemingway or Mark Twain that said when you write something, like you write a book or you write something, you should let it sit for a year and then come back to it and reread it. That's
probably true. I have this idea for a bunch of stories that all kind of are built around the same person. And no.
Oh, all right.
But it's amazing it's amazing how your perspective changes over time. So back when I was in college, I had written this story, and some of it was just crap. It was just trite. Is that the right word? It was garbage. But the main gist of the story I thought was good, and there's some parts in there that I'm going to reuse here eventually, as far as the words go. But but in the story never really meshed very well together, and it's because, and I look back on it now, this is almost 20 years later, is the character that I was trying to write about, I was trying to make him a sympathetic character, basically, right? And it was kind of, it's kind of autobiographical, but not really. I mean, to a certain extent, I think everything you do in many ways can be autobiographical. Is that a word? That's a word. Anyways, But so I was trying to make it was a story about this dude and his father, and I was trying to make the father the butthole of the whole thing. You were supposed to just despise this father and be totally okay with how this dude was acting, right?
Yeah.
Well, then it occurred to me later on that they're both buttholes, and this guy shouldn't be sympathetic towards the character that's doing all this work. It's actually, it's actually he's the butthole. So once I flipped that, then that's where the inspiration came for this story that I'd written out, and then my computer crashed. And then Derek Wood offered to take my hard drive from me and go hook it up to all of his computer-y stuff and see if he could extract it. And he was like, nope, this thing's totally done. So the only way that I would have to extract it is to pay an ungodly amount of money and send it off. And I'm not going to do that because I don't have an ungodly amount of money for it.
Yeah. What's an ungodly amount of money? Like $500?
Yeah, it was like, when I looked at it, there's like 3 stages to hard drive recovery, and the stage that I would first pay for, you have to pay for it in stages. So the first stage was like $700. It could get, and this was a while ago, so maybe it's changed, but it got expensive, a couple $1,000s to recover this data from this hard drive that's bad, that's went bonkers.
Wow.
But yeah, I remember that night, it totally blue screened on me. Right, I mean, I was literally a paragraph away from being done, and I'm an idiot for not saving it. And now I look back on it, and now that you got Google Drive and all these other cloud-based things, I it's a lot easier to save important stuff out there so that you can find it again.
Yeah.
Because all my stories and everything that I've written in college is all on like 2 thumb drives.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty scary. You might lose all that.
Yeah.
So, anyways, what's going on with you? That was another 10 minutes.
Yeah. I did a scooter ride on Saturday. It was pretty cool.
And you did that instead of coming to the track?
Well, kind of. It was more like I didn't have tires, so...
That's fine. Everybody needs a day off, man.
Yeah. And I'm going to miss the next round of the summer series, so it was like, I'll just hit it hard, like, when I come back, And I'm going to rebuild my carpet car and do that stuff, so it's not like I'm not doing anything, but...
Yeah.
I got my Zuma, like, where I want it, and that thing's such a pleasure to ride right now that it's
is it a Boss Haas?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. It's a Boss Haas. Easy.
It sounded good when we were behind you. When you were taking us out to lunch, it sounded like a... It sounded like a Mario Kart cart.
Yeah. I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
always thought it sounded kind of like a dirt bike, but yeah, I could see that.
I don't know. These guys bought one for themselves, and they're going to share it, and it's really nice. And then I looked at one that looked a lot more like your Zuma, and it was a 170 fuel injected, and that's about as much as you're going to get from me, because if the audience knows, I don't know what any of that means. But I checked. I did the credit check, and I got approved. And then I had them tally it up, and it was just going to be too much to add on to my car payment right now. Maybe next year.
Sure. Well, it's kind of like late in the year, like unless it's something that you really wanted.
Yeah.
Like it's getting to be like, well, I don't know. We probably got like a couple months.
We do,
3
but
months left.
So I've had in the back of my mind that to get something else other than my big. It's not even big, but my truck's a gas guzzler, right? So going back and forth to work, that's all I would really want to use it for. But I got to tell you, man, Omaha is a pretty scary place to drive a scooter in, especially where I live. Mm-hmm. So State Street's just a two-lane highway that connects one of the highways to suburbia, which is where I live now. And dude, I mean, I do 65 on it, and you're supposed to do 45. So if you don't do 60 or 65, you get your lights flashed at you. You get people that pass you in illegal ways. You get like people that ride your tail. They'll honk at you. It's crazy. I would not want to be on a scooter on State Street when all that's going around. So I would have to find an alternate route, what I would consider to be a little bit safer, if I was going to own one of those. Omaha's not a very friendly bicycle or motorcycle scooter town. At least West Omaha. Downtown's probably
Mhm.
okay, but West Omaha is those people want to get home, and they want to get home as fast as possible. And if you're in their way, sucks to be you. Like that's what it's
Yeah.
like out here.
Lincoln's pretty good about, like, I don't know, we have like bike lanes everywhere, and there isn't like any, you don't have to take interstate to get to one side of town to the other.
Right.
So it's kind of nice that, like, you could literally, if my scooter only did like 25 miles an hour, we'll say, or 30 tops, you could take side streets everywhere.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep. Now where I live, you'd have to take Ida because it's a little bit more side streety,
Yeah.
but it'd still be a little hairy. And I probably wouldn't ride it during rush hour at all.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, I ordered some J Concept stuff to trick out my carpet 2-wheel. I got like their shock towers for the B6.2 and a few other like blingy things. I was like, yeah, what the heck, I'll get that.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I'll probably join you on the scooter racket next year, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah, I should be able to afford it. I'm thinking.
that'd be cool. I should still have mine by then.
Yeah.
I just don't see any reason to get rid of it. Like, I'm only like, what, $400 into it?
Yeah.
Okay.
My truck's going to get
Yeah.
paid off in 3 years when Emerson's 16, and I don't
Yeah.
plan on buying a new vehicle after that.
Right.
I don't plan on it, but I mean, Emerson will need transportation, but we're going to make him work for it. So
Right. That's good.
if he treats a real car any way that he treats his RC cars, we're going to be in deep crap, though,
Yeah.
because
Well, that's why he needs to buy his own
he
car.
blows through a set of tires like every day. It's stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, he needs to get like some old, like a grandma's, like little lady's car.
Like a 1985 Chevrolet Celebrity.
Something like that. Or like a
Did they
like
make
an
that in
Oldsmobile-
that year? I don't know. I just know the old square body 80s
Yeah.
cars that were Cavaliers, celebrities.
Yeah,
What's the
he's
other
like
one?
an Oldsmobile Cutlass.
Yeah, exactly.
With the one with the inline 6 in it, they got okay mileage, so he doesn't like just drive everywhere.
Yeah,
But yeah, something like that. He's got to buy it himself, so
Yep.
he takes care of it.
exactly. So we got some new products in at the Plex. Have you seen some of that new Arma stuff coming out, like the Felony?
I saw a few, but I didn't look at it. I just saw it like come up on my Facebook or something. But I've been so busy at work since we're a guy down. Like,
Yeah. So one of the interesting things about having a YouTube channel that correlates with your hobby store is doing these unboxings. Okay.
mhm.
So I've been doing unboxings since I saw that was a thing. It was like 3 years ago, and I'm like, oh, they do that? That's all you need to do is just open it up and show people what it is. I'm like, I can do that. So I started doing
Yeah.
that, and most of the unboxings are the most popular videos I have. So there's our how-tos, which get pretty good, our unboxings, which get pretty good. The rest of it, it's kind of hit or miss as to whether we even get 300 views usually. The one that really caught my attention, though, was the infraction. So when that first came out, we got the early release thing from Horizon Hobby, and immediately got like 15,000 views in a matter of a week, which blew my mind. And since then, I just looked; it has like 27,000 views since then. So it's definitely the biggest video I got. You can kind of tell, in my opinion, now what's probably gonna sell well based on the response that you get from these unboxing videos or first look videos, whatever you want to call them. I kind of gotten tired of doing unboxing videos because I can't stand I've tried watching other people's unboxing videos, and they just sit there and fiddle with the box for like 5 minutes. So
Yeah.
I stopped doing that part. I go in beforehand. I make sure the car is ready to go so I don't waste time, and I just have that thing out so people can see it. So
Yeah.
I like calling them first look videos now. Okay, so the Felony, as of right now, has like 4,000 views within a few days. The Traxxas Haas, which is essentially a new version of a Traxxas Stampede 4x4, has, well, at one time it was 1/3 the views of the Felony, and we did them on the exact same day. but now it's about half. So there's about 2,000 views on the Haas, and there's about 4,000 views on the Felony so far. So I think just based on that, I think the Felony is something that is going to probably sell pretty well, and people are actually pretty hyped to anticipate it for, and like to get it. It's something that really interests them. Part of it's the body, because I think the body's cool. It's kind of a mix mash of a Camaro.
Yeah.
It's kind of like one of those things that Associated did, where they came out with a body that's they call it 80s inspired, so it's kind of a mix mash of all three major truck brands. This is kind of a Camaro / Mustangish lookish body.
Right.
The Haas is interesting. So the Traxxas Haas we got on the exact same day. It has essentially the same chassis as a Stampede Rustler 4x4. It's got its own shock towers like the Rustler 4x4. Different tires. The main difference between it and a Stampede 4x4 is the motor. That's really it. It's a longer, bigger motor. So it's like a, what do they call it? It's something.
The like high torque.
Yeah,
something. The long can. 4-pole motor. Yeah.
Valenion XL or something like that. Now that I put myself on the spot, but you know what wouldn't surprise me though, and I've been thinking about this, is when Traxxas came out the Revo 2.0, they very quietly discontinued the Emax. There was no announcement, no nothing. They just stopped making it.
Huh.
So I started thinking about it. I'm like, well, what if they just discontinue the Stampede 4x4? And this basically is their new Stampede 4x4. Because that's one of the things, too, is YouTube, man. You guys, not the viewers we have here right now, but maybe the viewers later. Some of you guys are just straight up mean, like in your comments and stuff. Like,
yeah,
the Felony didn't get that many negative comments on the car, but the Haas definitely did. There was a lot of comments like, that's the way to just rebadge a Stampede, Traxxas sucks, blah, blah, blah. It wasn't that much on the Arma, even though the Felony is basically just a rebranded infraction. Like, there's some upgrades on it for sure, but other than that, it's just a newer version of the infraction. So they're kind of doing the same thing, but it just has a different body, and it's got that safety stuff on it and different differentials and all that. So it's different from the original, but it's still, when the infraction V2 comes out, I mean, that'll have a handbrake, so I guess that makes it different. But the rest of it, those comments were mostly about me. Like,
yeah.
I had a rough Thursday, man. I got to stop reading those things because some of them were just like, how can this guy work at a hobby store and blah, 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 blah. So
you're like, do you know who you're talking to here?
Dude, so like, well, not only that, but a lot of it is self-deprecating humor I try to pull off. And obviously, I'm not a comedian either, so nor am I engineer, so it didn't hit. I don't know, but
you're like no respect. You got no respect.
No, I got no respect. So I don't know.
You're like this RC car looks pretty good. Does it come with a free bowl of soup? Then some guy's buying it, and you're like, oh, it looks good on you though.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I need to do an unboxing video.
Yeah, we should do one together. Yeah. I should bring you up because there's going to be more. So we've got the Infraction V2, the Outcast 8S, which I don't understand why we don't even have those yet because I've seen them at West Coast hobby stores and now East Coast hobby stores. So hopefully we're getting ours very soon. I stopped by Hobbytown today before I got here and I didn't see him back there. So we got that coming. There's I think there's quite a few more Arma stuff coming out. I don't know the exact names of stuff, but I do know that there's a lot of releases on the way.
Yeah. I got AJ Marasco with that in St. Louis, that joke.
Oh, yeah.
They were talking about racing stock. He was pitting right next to me, and I said, like, stock's dumb. It's, like, stupid and slow, like, race modified or whatever. And I look over, and I go, oh, and he's staring at me. I go, oh, it looks good on you, though. It's pretty funny. Anyway.
That is pretty funny.
Yeah.
So we got that, and then did we talk about the laser nut? Yeah, we did. I remember laser nut.
Laser nut.
Laser nut, and that one's in third place right now. So if you're going by unboxing views in the last week, the laser nut is third, the Haas is second, and the Felony is definitely first.
What's the laser nut?
It's a 4x4 U4 off-road racer, rock racer.
Yeah, it's like laser good, nuts better.
Well, no, there's an actual company called Laser Nut. I did not know this.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
But they make they're like manufacturing and like laser cutting stuff. So Laser Nut.
Oh,
Yeah, I didn't know
okay.
that. I knew that now. I knew that now,
I didn't
but
know that.
I didn't know that before. So
Maybe I shouldn't work in a hobby store.
yeah, maybe.
Like, yeah, I don't anymore. I used to.
I should have copied them.
Well.
So what I was thinking about, I deleted some of them because they were just so mean. I was like, this is stupid. This guy's got to go. So I deleted a whole bunch.
This
of them.
is a family podcast.
But I should have taken screenshots of them though, so that we could repeat them verbatim on the show.
Yeah, you should have took screenshots of them, and then like in your next unboxing video, you like pull them up and have them on the screen, and you're like, "I'm working on this. Like, I'm trying to do this better per this guy."
Yeah.
You know.
Exactly.
Yeah, according to like I don't know, Chunky Lover 69 or whatever his name is. It's like I need to do better at this, so here it is.
I was on one of them. I was gonna write. We're almost done with this, but I was gonna write. I am sorry that I did not grow up with a crescent wrench in my hand. I was busy holding a Futaba Magnum Jr.
Yeah,
because that's the truth. I don't know what. I don't know what that stuff's called on a real car. I don't know. I don't know what. You didn't really say that, but the point is that I didn't know. I don't know the terminology for like hood scoops and vents. And remember, I texted you. I'm like, hey, what do we call that thing on the back of the car underneath the car? And it was a diffuser. Yeah. So I'm doing this unboxing, and I know what this thing is called. I know it, but I'm having a brain fart, and I don't. It was one of those things where I knew I needed to talk about it, but I couldn't remember the name of it, so I just sort of like passed over it. And then afterwards, I'm like, I should have called that thing a diffuser. Like I knew exactly what that was.
Well, like if somebody were to say, like, I grew up with this guy obviously didn't grow up with a crescent wrench in his hand. I would say I grew up with the right size wrench in my hand.
Yeah.
Instead of an adjustable piece of garbage.
10 millimeter.
Yeah. I have all of your 10 mils.
Yeah.
Come get them.
Come get them. So yeah, so that's pretty cool. Right now they're available to look at. So we don't have any for sale yet, but very soon. We had somebody actually offered us $1,000 for the Felony the other day.
Really?
Yeah.
It's $1,000 felony.
I know, and I'm like, I don't know if we can do that yet or not, because we try to stay, we stay true to what is being expected of us. You're not supposed to sell those cars, so you can get your dealership pulled if you do. So can't do it.
Yeah, that's probably like quick money now, losing money later type thing.
I really hope that Traxxas continues to use the Haas. I would love to see a truck called the Big Haas. Yeah, I think it'd be so funny. And then Boss Haas, like that would be pretty funny too. Yeah. There's this guy that was from Minnesota that I used to work with that always used to call me Haas. And this is the first time I'd ever heard Haas. Well, when I think of Haas, I think of Dukes of Hazzard for some reason. Yeah, I never watched that show. But it's Boss Hogg, not Boss Haas. Yeah, it's Boss Hogg. Weird. You weren't alive when Dukes of Hazzard was around, were you? No. Yeah, I was. Yeah. The car movie, I know the Pukes of Hazzard wasn't a movie, but the movie that I watched like with cars is Smokey and the Bandit. Oh yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. The only reason to watch the new Dukes of Hazzard movie was Jessica Simpson in a bikini. Yeah, that was legit the only reason to watch that show, that movie. But I had a Matchbox Dukes of Hazzard playset. So we had a mat that you could roll out, and it was Hazzard County. And then you had these Matchbox Hot Wheels cars. One was a sheriff. One was Boss Hogg's convertible. And then of course you had the Challenger.
Yeah.
and then the Jeep. I had that too. I remember playing with these when I was like 2 and 3 years old.
Was there like a ramp and you take the car and like jump it off the ramp and like stop like midway in the air and you're like a little kid and you're like, them Duke boys better grow some wings. I better start flapping their arms and then like land it.
Oh man, that would be funny. My memory only remembers the mat and the cars, and I know that I had at least the sheriff's car probably till I was maybe 10 or 11 years old. I don't know what happened to all that stuff after that. But I beat my head against the wall every single day that I exist when I think of all these cool toys I had and how much they're worth now.
Yeah.
Unopened or even just opened. Like I had the G.I. Joe Black Mamba. Okay? That was a multi-rotored helicopter at an angle, and you would do this thing and would you pull on it? I think you would pull on it and it would rotate. Like I had that. I saw that thing at the Imaginarium the other day. They won $150 freaking for it. Which means for an open one, which means that I could have gone in there and been like, "Oh, give me $75 for this." You know, if I would have still had that thing. I had GoBots.
Yeah.
My family wasn't cool enough for Transformers, but I had GoBots. I had remember you probably don't remember because you're 10 years younger than I am. Do you know the cartoon Mask? MASK.
The Jim Carrey movie?
No, it's a cartoon. MASK. M.A.S. I don't know what it stands for. I can't remember. But anyways, they're basically kind of like Transformers, kind of another knockoff version of Transformers. I had several of those toys. They were actually really cool toys too.
Those were all cartoons that were designed to sell action
toys.
figures.
I know.
It was like backwards.
No, I totally know.
Like
I had a lot of He-Man. I had a She-Ra doll, by the way.
Nice.
We went to the Benson drive-in theater and sat there for a She-Ra movie, and then afterwards I had to have a She-Ra doll, and my dad's like, "You want a She-Ra doll?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I want a She-Ra doll." And so I had one. It was in one of my. It was stuffed in my Christmas stocking. And it's basically a Barbie doll. That's all it was.
No.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, you know what else I had? I had, speaking of He-Man, I had Skeletor's, I had Grayskull and I had the other one. And I can't remember what the other one is called, but the other one had a microphone and you would talk in it and you could move the mouth of the thing and talk through it. It was so awesome. God, that was awesome.
Yeah. The action figure toys that I had when I was a kid was Crash Dummies. You remember those?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had like a whole bunch of those. And I still have them, actually. But they're all opened and played with. But
Yep.
Yep.
Dumb. All that stuff probably got tossed, probably got thrown away.
Yeah. I have the Crash Dummy, like, crash test, like, facility. And you can, like, crash the car into the wall. And, like, everything goes flying. And there's, like, stuff.
Nice.
And like the car, like the whole front end collapses and the front tires shoot off of it and the hood comes off, or not the hood, like the top of the car. What do you call that? The roof.
The roof
comes off. And then there's like an airbag.
You don't know what you're talking about. You better get off of YouTube.
Yeah, that's fine. Whatever, I'll go. And there's like this airbag that's like this foam, and you like stuff it into the steering column and like snap on the steering wheel, and then when you like crash it, something like comes out and pushes the airbag out. Like, could you imagine like trying to engineer something like that or design something like that in the 90s? Something that's like designed to look crashed.
Yeah.
And then I had there's this character Bull, and he had this big old pickup truck, and like you push a button and like the horns would like shoot out and like hit stuff, and like if you flip this switch on it, if it rolled so far, it just like the front end would like come springing off of it, and like all the characters go flying. It's pretty cool.
I had Spytek and I had Survivor Shot. Those were two of the greatest late 80s, early 90s toys ever. Survivor Shot was basically laser tag, and there's this green Terminator-looking machine gun. And then you would wear this headset, and it had a sensor on it. and then it had a little thing, and it would go and buzz your head if you got hit.
Mm-hmm.
And you could put this gun into sniper mode, so you'd only shoot one shot, or auto mode where it'd go. But here's the kicker. This is the dumbest thing ever. I don't know why they. Well, I know why they did it this way. But if you didn't hit the reload button, you would run out of ammo forever.
Oh, really?
So I ran this thing out of ammo once because, like, all my neighborhood kids, we used to play guns, right? This is the 80s when you could do that. We used to run around the whole area with realistic-looking plastic guns and pretend to shoot each other. And then it evolved into all of us wanting to get survivor shot. So it was like 3 or 4 of us that had survivor shot. I ran mine out of ammo. It stopped working. My dad had to take it back to Toys R Us and get a new one because I ran it out of ammo. Isn't that dumb?
Yeah, it's dumb.
Yeah. So we did that. I left mine in a tree fort, and it got wet, and then I ruined it, so we couldn't take it back after that. But that was pretty awesome.
Okay, one more toy.
Yeah, one
do
more
you
toy.
remember Do you remember the Tonka Chainsaw? You ever have one of those? So it was a Tonka truck, and it had like an engine, like on the front of it, like a big blower thing. And you push, and it had like this handle on the back that you'd pull on it like a chainsaw, and it had like a centrifugal thing in there, and then you put that, it like engaged it, and it like take off and like crash and stuff.
Oh, really? No, I don't remember that one.
Yeah, I still have it. That thing's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool.
That is like something you don't see anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, you really don't.
Anyway,
I walk through Walmart every once in a while, look in the toy aisle. Actually, that's my go-to aisle still to this day. Is I'll just, whenever I'm going with Gretchen to go shopping, Emerson and I veer off and we go to the toy aisle and just hang out in the toy aisle until we get a text saying, "Hey, I'm ready."
yeah.
So, but I walk through, there really isn't as much cool stuff as I think there used to be. A lot of it's because of the safety issue. But
Yeah, they definitely sell a lot less wood burning kits to little kids.
right. They do make Nerf swords.
Yeah.
That you can hit each other with at full speed, and it doesn't really hurt you that much. And then Nerf guns are still a big thing, though. We've got a pretty good selection of Nerf at the store.
I had a Nerf bazooka.
Yeah.
You'd shoot a Nerf football. I think it was cool.
Yeah. I used to love getting Nerf footballs for Christmas because you'd always pick at them, and then they get torn or they get wet,
and then
they
just fall apart.
They just fall apart.
Like you get that one little dent in them,
yeah,
and then they just like shred. Like there's nothing left of them.
Okay, I got a funny Nerf story.
Okay, cool.
This is really funny. So my friend Mike, so I lived in Kansas for 9 months. Okay, before my parents divorced, they gave one last go and they moved to Kansas. And I had my friend Mike, who lived across the street. We were pretty close, good buddies. We actually stored Molotov cocktails in each other's houses because we watched Red Dawn so much that we were ready for the Russian invasion. So somewhere, I don't know if I've talked about this on here before, but at my old house where I grew up in, there is a buried wooden toy box full of glass Sprite bottles filled with gasoline.
Nice.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. So one day they're going to find it and be like, "What's this?" And So, anyways, so we moved to Kansas, and we were sitting there. We were both in RC cars, and we both had RC car magazines, and we were trying to talk each other into buying or getting our parents to buy RC10Ts at the time. Okay, because that had just come out. They had that car action cover with the slide and the cow paint job on it. And we were both in the room. The Cliff Let truck, and we were playing. We were sitting there messing with it, with the magazine, saying which one we wanted, all that stuff. And then we were playing Nerf basketball. I had this little basketball hoop with a little Nerf basketball, the little scrunchy things or whatever, and you could bounce them off different areas and make it into the hoop or whatever. And I was underneath the basket, and I got passed. Mike passed it to me, and then I did a layup with this, and as I was looking up and it made it into the thing, a little fragment of Nerf ball landed in my eye.
Nice.
And I couldn't get it out. And so I started scratching it started picking at it to try to get this piece of Nerf out of my eye, and it made it worse, and I just scratched my eye. So I had to get taken to the eye doctor, which was not an easy thing to do because we lived 25 miles north of Topeka in a tiny little town. So it had to be set up the next day. And they put that radiation, it wasn't not radiation, but they put that stuff in your eye that can glow so they can see it. They're like, yeah, your eye's all scratched up. And they went in there with a thing and he picked out the little pieces of Nerf. And then I had to wear an eye patch for a week.
Yar, maybe.
Yar. Yar. I got made fun of pretty bad for the whole eye patch thing.
Yeah, I'm sure. You sure it was for the eye patch?
Yeah. Anywho, we raced this week.
Yeah.
And I think my phone's charged enough now where I can look at thing. Oh, Nate Will says that it was Snake Mountain. So you had Grayskull and Snake Mountain. That was the two pieces. I had both of those. God, that's so awesome.
Nice.
I miss those days.
I never played with He-Man toys.
I think it was past you, though. He-Man...
Nah, I had a cousin that was really into it.
I don't think He-Man was...
I never was really into superheroes.
Yeah.
Never did like it. Never get it. I didn't have an imagination. I was a real cynical little kid. Like
I would imagine, like, Batman, the animated series... And
yeah.
like shows
I had
like
friends that were really into it. I just never got it. I didn't have enough imagination.
Well, that's too bad.
But I think I did have a lot of imagination, but it was like the ability to envision something and see through like, that ain't real.
Right.
You're
like we can't use cuss words on here, but there's that South Park episode where Stan turned into a cynical butthole.
I was exactly like that.
Yeah.
Like,
I gotta find it. Hang on a second here. Let's see. Live RC. What are you doing? You cutting your fingernails off again?
No, I just I was taking my slipper apart off of my carpet car.
Oh.
And the I got this thing so smoking hot. that's
stuck to it.
That I snapped I pulled the slipper pad off of it, and it was like there.
There was a guy that came in this week with a slipper clutch that was melted to his slipper pads. It usually happens on Traxxas cars.
Mine didn't melt. I just got that pad that hot. I mean, you pretty much you run them on the I run two fans on my two-wheel. I run one on the slipper and I run one on the motor.
So I was tempted to sell. I have a 5.5 motor and two 6.5s, and I was tempted to sell all three of them this summer. But then I was like, oh yeah, that's right, we're racing carpet.
Yeah,
get a motor up.
Well, I run a 6.5 with a 13.0 or whatever rotor, like the high torque rotor for braking.
Yep. All right, so we had a pretty good day. So we've had this summer. Anywhere, I think the lowest club race turnout we've had is about 40, and I think the most is about 80. And this weekend we had 48 entries with 28 total drivers. And I think it was one of those weeks that you kind of felt like, I kind of felt going into it that there might be some missing faces just because we have been going really hard for the last 3 months of just straight racing the whole way through. So I feel like this week was a week in which several people just kind of took a day off. Mm-hmm. And to be honest with you, I didn't really feel like racing either. It was beautiful out.
Yeah.
I mean, it was gorgeous.
It was like the sun was warm, but the wind was kind of cool.
It was beautiful.
One of those days. Oh, man.
So not the greatest turnout, but we still love the turnout. I think anything over 30, you can still have, many heats and still be able to kind of chill in between the rounds. When you get up towards 100, you can't take a break at all because we'd be there forever. So there's this nice area where it just kind of fills up, and that's kind of what it was like on Saturday. We had full heats after race 4, and everybody that was there was real chill. Everybody was getting lots of track time and getting in their qualifiers and stuff. So biggest class was 13.5 4-wheel drive. We had 15 cars.
Wow. So did you race it?
No, I put mine away. getting beat by Owen Vanderbeek straight up is enough to make me put my car away for a while.
That's funny.
That's not the reason, but I'm sure somebody out there is like, yeah, you're just not racing because Owen beat you. No, Owen, he beat me straight up. It was good.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those reminders. It's what's that one saying I'm always like? It's nothing reminds you more that you're racing a toy car than being beat by a 9-year-old.
Yeah.
So.
No, you're right.
So we had a B main. We had to run a B main because there's no way we're going to run 15 cars together. So Nick Sneathen and RJ Como took the bump in that one. Nick's kids, Nevin, was there. And at the start of this one, Nevin was actually almost in the lead, and then he kind of crashed out of it. So it was Nick and RJ getting the bump there. We got that out of the way real quick. Plex Spec, we had 5 cars. Hunter, Jackson's brother,
Mm-hmm.
and then Brady Papanow. Brady TQ'd, but Hunter stuck with him. And then there's a video online I took of the weekend. I kind of mashed it all together in one big video, so it was like a 35-minute long video, and you can see Hunter winning it right at the end. It was crazy.
Nice.
A lot of crashing, but that's what Plex Spec's all about, anyways.
Yeah.
I let Nevin race in Plex, so he got third in that one, and then Jackson, RJ's kid, finished fourth, and he helped Marshall a lot, so that was awesome. And then Lucian's he didn't finish this race, but Lucian did finish the other 2 qualifiers, and he got more laps than he did last week, so he's already getting better.
That's a win.
Yeah. So, and that little kid loves coming to the track, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we like. And then, not to mention, so we had 48 entries on Saturday, but we also had 30-something entries on Friday.
Wow.
And 22 of them were Plex Speckers. So, so it's overall still a good weekend. You can't really complain about that at all.
Mm-hmm.
4-wheel mod. So we had Tom and Mason come over from Des Moines, and then Aiden and Mitchell. And this one was kind of close. Tom TQ'd 4-wheel, and he led the whole way, but he crashed one lap twice in the same lap and let Mason get close to him there, and then it pulled away again. So at one point it was like 5 seconds with like 2 minutes left to go. That was the gap.
Mm-hmm.
And then that crash brought it back down to like two seconds, and then it ballooned back up to almost 5 seconds again. Aiden Olson's third. Mitchell does what Mitchell does. He's in fourth. But Aiden, he's close. He's close. He rips off a couple fast laps, and then he'll have a couple not so fast laps, or he'll make a mistake and crash it out, and then he'll come back with another whole bunch of fast laps. I think everybody in this heat got a 20-second lap though, which is pretty fast. The track was actually really good. The track was very grippy on Saturday. So we had kind of a mixed bag truck class again. Dan Stevens and Chad Irwin came up, so they raced their mini truggies. Dan finished about 4 seconds ahead of Chad. And then TJ won stadium truck in front of Josiah Roby and RJ Como. I think RJ's truck broke. Josiah might have popped a ball cup at some point and needed it back on, so TJ kind of walked away with this one in the trucks. But I think truck's one of his strongest classes out of the 3 that he runs. And then 13.5 4-wheel drive main came up, and Corey Tannehill, man, he was on fire. TQ'd and won. Dylan Reef came up and finished just ahead of Joe. That was a pretty good race up front, I believe, for most of it. Again, on that video I made, I think I kind of caught the first couple laps. No, I stayed with this one for like 3.5 minutes, and then it got kind of boring, and then I cut back to the end. Dan Stevens, Ronnie Went, Rod Case, Chad Irwin, Nick Sneathen, RJ Como, and TJ Williams. TJ broke his 22X4 on lap 3. I think he lost a wheel or something, if I remember right. And then stock buggy. So Jackson Anderson finally got a win in stock buggy. Wade Gehring wasn't there. So it's been those 2 guys the last couple weeks.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Corey Tannehill qualified second, finished second. Dylan Reef with his new Losi stuff. Qualified fourth, finished third. Qualified fourth, finished third. There we go. Rob Connor was fourth, and Nick Sneathen was fifth. And what's interesting to me about this is there's a pretty wide gap between first and last, but the names in here, like Rob and Nick, like you can see them progressing now and getting better. Like they weren't able to do 14 laps a couple weeks ago.
That's awesome.
So they're all improving. And then Mod Buggy, you know, Tom and Mason again. Mason actually TQ'd. He put down a heater the second qualifier, but Tom ended up winning, and there's a pretty big gap too between them. To be honest, I didn't see what happened because I was actually racing.
Yeah.
Aiden Olson finished with a 16 flat, so the top two guys got 17. Aiden was on a 16 flat. Then way back was me, 19 seconds back in fifth, and then Brian Burnt got a 15:01, and Mitchell Pavel was out with 10 laps, and I think he lost a wheel.
No.
If I remember right. So
Yeah.
this one really wasn't close between everybody. It was kind of close between me and Aiden for a little while there, and then like halfway through, it just blew up because I think I crashed. I turned into the pipe, and then I crashed after that, and then I was just like, nah, whatever.
Yeah, the track might not have been there because, like, was it like a few weeks ago I ran 17 laps in a qualifier.
Yeah.
So, shit. Or heck, my stuff was probably pretty good.
You would have liked the track on Saturday. You could, when I was going out there to blow it off, when you walked on it, like if I wasn't careful, I would have accidentally picked up a piece of the track. It was sticking to my feet.
Oh, really? Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
So the track was really good.
Yeah.
And then
maybe I should have raced.
Yeah. Independent stock buggy, you had Jackson Anderson winning this one. He almost gave it away, crashed on the last lap at the end of the straightaway, where you basically don't want to crash, but luckily the marshal was there. But Joe Schnoes, so they finished 0.7 of a second apart. Joe Schnoes got a second. TJ Williams got a third. Nick Sneathen, Ronnie Went, Josh Ryan. Josh Ryan ran independent this week, giving it a go. Didn't finish last. David Golick, Tom Baker was there, and Adam Hoffman, he went home. So that was your race day. Again, it was just kind of a laid-back Saturday. It was really easy to get all those heats in. We had 8 heats all day, so we were doing like an hour and 20 minutes around, and then we'd take a break to blow and water the track off, and then we get back to it. So I even got a bike ride in later on that night.
That's like the perfect day.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
I think 30 to 50 entries is like the perfect race.
I mean,
anyway.
That's not saying we wouldn't take more, but
no, I you know what I'm saying. Like as far as like time you're done, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it's like holy cow. There's like you have those other days like holy cow. There's a ton of people here. This is going to be awesome too, you know. But it's kind of like it's a win-win, you know.
Yeah. So, overall, just kind of a really chill week. Really, we had some news products in. We expect more to come in here shortly, and then we had a really good race day, Friday and Saturday. Really, I was working in the store Friday, so I didn't really get a whole lot of. Oh no, I wasn't. Trevor called in sick. That's right. I had to run the races on Friday.
Okay.
That is right. I forgot all about that.
He's sick?
Yeah. Yep.
What's he sick with?
I don't know. He was sent home from school, and with the COVID thing, you just don't know. If you're sick at all, everybody's gonna assume that it's the virus, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind having a 2-week vacation though.
Yeah.
I mean,
that was the joke around the shop.
Really?
like we were gonna go around licking doorknobs and stuff, so we could get the 2 weeks off.
I mean, if we're exposed to it or we get it, I don't. Do we not go into work then and I get to just chill at home?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Our work, we only get like 1 day paid, and then you gotta use your vacation and stuff. So it was like,
Yeah, I'd probably do that. I'd probably just use my vacation, not worry about it. Although that would kind of screw up my whole October plans.
I always burn up my vacation between doing like vacations my wife wants to do in RC. I always end up Owen vacation at the end of the year. I'm like negative all the time.
So we use the first 10 minutes of the show to basically talk about nothing and have you not on the podcast thing. So
Yeah.
in reality, I'm looking at the time and it's about 54 minutes. So why don't we take a moment to take a listen to our sponsor, either David Olson or Don Zoller, talk about their Pivot Lending Group stuff. And then when we come back, we'll try to take some questions.
Okay.
Okay. All right. That's a good spot for that. So I'm gonna open up.
Spot.
I'm gonna open up this real fast while it's cold. So give me a second.
Okay.
You would think that this would get old, but not really.
Yeah, not really. No, I like it. I'm drinking an
A what?
an
Oh,
I guess.
aha or ah?
Aha. I guess.
Is it sparkling
Fizzy-
water?
Yeah, fizzy water.
Dude, Gretchen tried to get me on sparkling water.
Mhm.
We have a whole bunch of it down in the basement.
Yeah.
No, thank
You
you.
either love it or you hate it or you think it's okay.
It's not my favorite thing in the whole wide world. Not really my favorite thing. Maybe it's the flavors,
not-
but not my
I
favorite.
don't know. I drank a cherry bubbly earlier. That's what I had first. I just so Erin and I, we went to her grandparents for August birthdays yesterday, and they do August and September birthdays in one day. So we went out there, and we go to a gas station. I get like 6 of them, 6 different ones, and try the ones I like. And then the whole way there, I'm like just sucking them down.
Whoa, nice. So, I'm gonna check our Facebook page one more time, but I don't think we got very many questions. I don't think we got
You got
any.
YouTube questions?
Oh, wait a minute. What's this? Oh, it's just no. Okay. So
It's
we didn't get
Riley.
any on our Facebook page, which bums me out. And again, that one week I shared that and it got like 800 views in a matter of an hour, and then this only shows like 40 people reached. So I don't quite know what's going on with that. Sometimes the Facebook reaching is kind of weird. But
We were getting canceled.
yeah. We got plenty of people on YouTube right now. There's 8 people.
Yeah, that's a lot.
So at one point we had like 11 or 12. It's not too bad.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
whatever.
They probably got tired of us talking about vintage toys.
Probably. So the first question is, we still crawling? That was from Rodney Sorensen. I think I answered that yeah, tomorrow we're definitely still crawling. But I think the following week I'm gonna say that I'm gonna be working on the track. So guys can come out and use the crawler course. We just won't have any official crawling comp that night. So next Tuesday I'm gonna be busy making sure the track is ready to go for the summer series.
Mm-hmm.
Joel Florkey's on here. He's I'm wondering if I can sell hats and T-shirts at RC tracks.
What kind of hats?
That's kind of a interesting question, because a lot of places, if it's like a club and you're out, let's say the Lincoln Club's having a race, you could probably get away with it at most of those type of racetracks. But if you're at a commercial track,
Yeah.
they kind of frown on people selling stuff in general, like new retail. They don't mind the used stuff, but
Right.
you definitely don't want somebody from another hobby store somewhere bringing a truck and selling stuff out of that trailer. That's a big no-no.
Or wasn't there a guy that is at a Noble race? And he just set up pegboards and stuff.
Yes,
pits?
that's a big no-no.
Dude,
Dude,
what the heck are you doing?
you're at a hobby store. If you want to sell stuff, you got to go through us. We pay for the building. We pay. Everything here is paid for by that store. You don't get to just come in and sell stuff, especially new stuff, right? Used stuff, everybody sells used stuff. I sell used stuff, but new stuff. But shirts and hats are kind of weird, because our store, we sell our own shirts, HobbyPlex shirts, and hats. But
I mean, we've had Jared Tebow come, and he's got his, he's got his stuff there.
Yeah.
You just got to ask each track for permission, I think, is what the deal is.
Sure. And it just depends on like what art. Like, I wonder what that is. So, are you like screen printing your own shirts, like for like personalized shirts for people? That'd be kind of neat.
That would be kind of neat.
Yeah.
Also, don't be offended if the track you're at wants a cut.
Yeah.
Because you're using their place to sell stuff. You probably should give them something.
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah.
So
I mean, yeah, I think so.
Other than that, that's it. So, I don't know. I don't know what else to talk about today.
I don't know. I mean, we talked about vintage toys.
Yeah, got vintage toys in.
Yeah.
You want to talk about Star Wars?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, so so news today was that I saw something on the Reddit feed that the Obi-Wan TV show for Disney Plus is going to start filming like next week, I think, or next month, something like that.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Will Jar Jar Binks be in it?
He might, because it's around that era, but I doubt it.
If he's not, what's the point?
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I believe they've casted Hayden Christensen though to be Darth Vader at some point in this, either as a flashback or as actually Darth Vader.
Really?
And it's only going to be 6 episodes, so.
Ooh, a miniseries.
That's one of my. Yeah, I hope they're longer than 45 minutes though. That's my one gripe about The Mandalorian, is the shows are way too short.
Yeah.
But I mean, it does cost
Just
a lot to
when it's
produce
getting
those.
good.
Basically, yeah. But this is going to be an epic fall for Star Wars because Ahsoka Tano is going to be in The Mandalorian. So excited.
Maybe okay.
I have a.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
I know. Ahsoka Tano's she was a Jedi, and then she left the Jedi Order, and then she.
Oh, you can't be leaving the Jedi Order.
Well, you can if they treat you like crap, and they.
Then you can go kill all the younglings, right?
Right. Yeah. But then she's kind of a gray Jedi, so she's not following explicitly the Jedi Order, but she's not not on the dark side either. She's like right in the middle.
Her lightsaber's gray.
Yeah, and she's being played by Rosario Dawson, which is awesome. So, I mean, there's many reasons to be excited about that character being brought into live action, but the fact that Rosario Dawson is playing her is pretty cool.
How do you think the lightsaber knows when to stop?
What do you mean?
Like, it goes out like 6 feet and it stops.
Oh. That's
Like
a
the
good
Force?
question. One that I'm not privy to because I'm not as
you
big
think
of a
the
Star Wars
Force
nerd as I
knows?
should be. Maybe. That was one thing my mom would always do. My mom would, anytime that anything ever happened in a movie, like I remember watching The Phantom Menace, and one of my biggest gripes about The Phantom Menace is that Anakin jumps in the starfighter and then goes on autopilot to go to where the battle is, and then somehow manages to not get shot down, but also manages to disable some shields, fly in, and at a perfect angle, get lined up to bomb this thing and destroy all the droids' communications, and then is able to get back out again. And when I argued that with my mom's like, "It's the Force."
Huh.
Like, it's just like,
Yeah.
it's the Force. What do you think? The Force made that happen. So anytime, that's one thing about Star Wars, is anytime anything doesn't make any sense, you can always just say, well, I mean, the Force did it.
Have you ever heard the argument that the Star Wars, like the original 3 movies, is actually a Western?
Yeah.
Like the format
Oh, yeah.
of it is a Western?
Absolutely.
It's not sci-fi, it's a Western.
Yeah.
It's a Western.
I've heard that
I
before.
think.
Yeah, no doubt.
I think so. I don't consider it sci-fi at all. I don't consider Back to the Future as sci-fi.
Okay. What category would it be in?
I don't know. Adventure?
Okay. I mean, there's time travel involved, so that's pretty science fiction-y. That's a
yes
word.
and no. You think it's more of a fantasy.
Okay. kind of. When I think of fantasy, though, I think of like Conan the Barbarian and stuff. That's what I think of. Or like Red Sonja.
Or like what's that other movie?
Which, if you ever seen Red Sonja, the only reason I even watched that show is for the cleavage and booty shots. It's not really
nice.
Yeah.
I'm only saying that about those movies to see how many people I can get a rise out of. Like, I really don't care. I don't know.
Oh, here's a question. We got one more question before we go.
Okay,
Is
cool.
eBay the only place to buy used RC besides hobby shops and swap meets?
402 RC Club.
Yeah, so I think so me personally, I love eBay, right? So I recycle all my stuff through eBay. The reason I like selling stuff on eBay is because generally speaking, once it's gone, you don't have to ever see that or talk to that person ever again. Or if you sell locally, if you sell locally,
there's a lot to be said about not having to see the guy you sold something to ever again.
If you sell locally and he goes and blows the speed controller up a week later, then he can come back. You sold me a bed, and you're like, no, it worked fine. Well then you can get your stuff plastered all over Facebook and stuff. So I'm not a big fan of selling locally. I'll put stuff on Facebook on the clubs every once in a while, but it's got to be stuff that I know is like not going to be completely ruined by somebody, and so there's no shot. Or I'll sell it to somebody that I really know, so that I know they, like TJ. I sold TJ my B6 a couple years ago.
Yeah, right.
But I think Facebook Marketplace and the pages and stuff has really kind of taken over. Probably, what do you think? At least 50% of that market?
Probably more.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even post anything on eBay. I would just post everything on one of the Facebook groups.
Yeah.
Because then they don't get a cut.
I know.
eBay isn't taking a cut of your monies.
But you can kind of hack. You can kind of hack eBay a little bit if you know what you're doing to get the least amount of fees, though, too.
Sure.
But
there's still fees. Even the least amounts of fees is still a fee.
Yeah, I know.
You could sell something no fees.
Yeah, that's true.
On Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah, I know.
And then you still use PayPal.
Well, I also don't trust people, though.
Oh.
That's why I use eBay. Because eBay, I suppose you probably still get scammed from eBay, but I've never had a problem, and everything has a chain. So if the other person says, hey, you sold me this, it was supposed to be ready to run, or it was listed as a ready to run, you sold me a roller, you can go, dude, did you not read the description? It totally said roller everywhere. And I put in the description, this is a roller, does not come with any of this and this and this. eBay sees that, and eBay will generally side with you, as long as your description's good. So I just don't, I have a hard time trusting people, but that's one of the reasons why I'm not putting more expensive stuff on Facebook unless it's somebody that I really know.
Yeah.
So, but where else? I mean, we used to be RC Tech, that's still around, but I haven't gone on RC Tech in ages. There was always for sale stuff on there.
5 years for me.
Yeah.
I think I got on there one time a long time ago, or a few years ago, just to try to find some of those old threads that people argue on.
Yeah. For entertainment purposes.
That was it.
All right. That's about it. We're at, we'll be at about an hour and 10 minutes on this one, I think, when it's all cut out. So, I don't know. Pretty lazy, easy show today. Will, thanks for meeting us down there. My sister and brother-in-law bought a scooter today, thanks to your tutelage. I almost bought one, but it was just going to be too much money, so I didn't do it.
Yeah. So tomorrow is my birthday.
Shut up.
The only thing
What?
Yeah. I'm gonna be 31.
I didn't know that.
The only thing I want for my birthday is a 5-star review on our podcast.
Yes, please.
That's it.
Oh, crap. Yes, 5-star review. As per Will Brinton's wishes, give us 5-star reviews so we can get higher up the totem pole. Dude, I almost forgot about this one piece of hobby news.
Oh, okay.
I got to get this in really fast because it's really important. Kurt Schlichter, you know who that is?
No.
He's the guy that owns the Ohio RC. I think it's a factory where they hold the CRC race every year.
Oh,
Dude, his
okay.
house burned to the ground.
What?
Yes, they had a house fire. It's a total loss. Like his house is gone. I think his car is gone. I think they just had a cat return, as I was reading the post yesterday.
Oh,
So
no.
I believe that there is a GoFundMe account set up per oh gosh, what's his name? Bradley something something. Gosh darn it.
That is terrible.
I should have had this ready to go, and I totally forgot about it.
You think about it, it's like somebody's house burns down. They don't even have a damn toothbrush.
Well,
that is like,
yeah,
that
and
is the worst.
it's not just that. I mean, this is a fairly substantial part of RC car racing.
Yeah.
Dalton Myers. Sorry, Dalton Myers. So Dalton Myers has a GoFundMe account set up.
What happened? What was it? What was the cause of the fire?
I really didn't read into it that much. But let's see if I can find it. So I think Dalton said he might be coming for this next round of the Summer Series. Yeah. Okay, so there's a GoFundMe account set up for helping the Schlichter family. Their goal is $15,000. So far they've raised $8,355.
Wow.
So if you can get on GoFundMe and throw them some funds so that they can get kind of helped along in their rebuild, that'd be awesome, because that's basically the first stop on the yearly circuit of RC car racing.
Yeah. Well, the Reedy race done that one.
Yeah. Well,
right?
No.
Or is that
no? The
CRC
the CRC race is usually first. It's usually the one of the first or second weekends for the electric, and then they have a nitro race after that, and then 2 weeks later is the Reedy race.
Okay.
So it's Schlichter. So it's SCHLICHTER. And yeah.
Yeah, that's what I want for my birthday. Give him some money.
Yeah. So there's that. And I'm glad I didn't forget. All right, we got to go. So
okay.
Thank you guys. This has been fun. We're getting another one in, show 29 or something like that. It's crazy. Make sure that you guys get a hold of Pivot Lending Group at pivotlending.com if you want to get yourself hooked up with a better rate or a lending credit on a home loan or refinance through pivotlendinggroup.com. Aiden Nilsson's dad. And that's pretty much it. We got to go.
Yeah, and give us a 5-star review.
Yeah, give us a 5-star review. Yep.
If you had something that needed 5 stars and needed to be reviewed, I'd give you all the stars you asked for.
Unless you sucked. Then I wouldn't. No, I would too. Bye, guys.
Yep, see ya. See you on the flip-flop!
Oh, it's not